Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. Today we are checking out this video from Verve. It's titled "Woke People Being Dumb for 90 Minutes." What would they be talking about? Let me guess. Definition of woman, because that's what the conversation is about, mostly about. When you hear woke people, that's usually the conversation. But anyway, we'll be diving into today's video together. Before we dive into it, my name is Oge. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, hello. Do well to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. Let's check this out together quickly.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
Wait, am I hearing this right? She cannot define what a woman is because
I'm not a biologist.
woke people think that they are knowledgeable and can win against the world. But sometimes what they cannot win against is common sense.
Do you identify as black?
Here are 3 clips where woke women are just denying simple facts and common sense while embarrassing themselves in the process. And the last one is so absurd that I'm not sure whether to feel angry about where we are heading as a society or just sad for these guys.
So yesterday, under questioning from Senator Blackburn, you told her that you couldn't define what a woman is.
So this case is a follow-up of the case where Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson could not define what a woman is. Here on the next day, Senator Ted Cruz asks why she couldn't define what a woman is and what consequences this may have.
That you were not a biologist, which I think you're the only Supreme Court nominee in history who's been unable to answer the question, what is a woman?
Obviously, she couldn't answer. All the Supreme Court nominees before her were not pushing a woke agenda. I guess defining what a woman is a taboo.
Let me ask you, as a judge, how would you determine if a plaintiff had Article 3 standing to challenge a gender-based rule, regulation, policy, without being able to determine what a woman was?
So, Senator, I know that I'm a woman. I know that Senator Blackburn is a woman, and the woman who I admire most in the world is in the room today, my mother. It sounded as though the question...
Okay, she can tell who a woman is by looking at them, but still is running in circles on defining what a woman is. But Senator Cruz lets her know how absurd this whole conversation is by flipping the same logic that she's been using all along.
Let me ask, under the modern leftist sensibilities, if I decide right now that I'm a woman, then apparently I'm a woman. Does that mean that I would have Article 3 standing to challenge a gender-based restriction?
Senator, to the extent that you are asking me about who has the ability to bring lawsuits based on gender, those kinds of issues are working their way through the courts, and I'm not able to comment on them. Okay,
if I can change my gender, if I can be a woman, and then an hour later, if I decide I'm not a woman anymore, I guess I would lose Article 3 standing. Tell me, does that same principle apply to other protected characteristics? For example, I'm an Hispanic man. Could I decide I was an Asian man? Would I have the ability to be an Asian man and challenge Harvard's discrimination because I made that decision?
Senator, I'm not able to answer your question. You're asking me about hypotheticals and...
Of course, she can't answer. Her argument is based on the fact that she can't tell the difference between a man and a woman, and when she is put in a spot, she just refuses to comment. Well, that's a class act, right there.
Well, I'm asking you how you would assess standing if I came in and said, I have decided I identify as an Asian man.
I would assess standing the way I assess other legal issues, which is to listen to the arguments made by the parties, consider the relevant precedents, and the constitutional principles involved, and make a determination.
So, let me get this straight. She is a woman, but can't define what a woman is. Plus, those questions weren't hypothetical. They seemed pretty straightforward to me. She seems deceptive, and her answers suggest she holds radical views that she's not willing to disclose.
It's not difficult, is it, Angelica?
I mean, I don't think she cannot define a woman because she can identify women. She said she has her mother in the room, one of the women she respects so much in the world. She's a woman. She identifies, she says she's a woman. Obviously, she's a woman. So the problem is not that. I don't think the problem is the problem is not that she cannot define a woman. She knows who a woman is. But I think the problem is the agenda, the woke agenda. Do you understand what I mean? It's just that woke agenda, and the fact that she has bought into it so much that she wouldn't want to define who a woman is. And then people who look up to her, probably she has a lot of queer people who look up to her, and she coming out to say that I don't know, but I don't want to believe she can actually define a woman. She just doesn't want to say it. She just has a woke agenda up there. And for Ted Cruz, oh my god, Ted Cruz has to be one of the best people to debate with, because I've seen so many of his videos where usually most of the time either abortion rights or people battling with pronouns, all these woke people and all of that. And then when he's trying to argue and then you are not giving him direct answer, he knows the questions to ask, either to upset you, to make you say what you want to say. He has a way of asking his questions. There are times he's on the panel list and he's asking questions, and probably the overall superintendent or the person overseeing the whole debate would have to turn off his mic or something just to make sure that it's okay. Let's take a chill pill now. So Ted Cruz has a way of actually asking his questions, and he has a way of asking his question which will make, she's a judge, and he's putting her on a hot spot, and still she's not budging. She doesn't want to define who a woman is. Not because she cannot define. She knows she's a woman. She knows her mother is a woman. She has a woman she respects so much in the room. So she actually knows who a woman is. She just has a woke agenda. That's just it. A woke ideology. Very crazy ideology. And yeah. And what do you guys think? Do you think she cannot define a woman? Do you think there is a very deep reason why she doesn't want to? It's usually this woke agenda, they're usually not deep, right? They are not usually deep. But if you know the reason why she cannot define a woman, or the reason why she doesn't want to define a woman, or you kind of see reasons with her, let's know in the comment section what you think.
It's not difficult, is it, Angelica? That is what a woman is.
I don't know why you're obsessed with defining it. Like, what is a man? Like, why do we need these arbitrary...
A man is a male adult human. That's it.
Right, okay, I don't know that we need
these are just biological facts, but they're just facts. They're not arguable points, are they?
Yup, that's about it. These are just facts. You can define what a woman is, but she won't admit that, and tries to derail the topic by saying, why should we even have to define anything? But you'll see. Piers knew how to handle her argument very well.
I think we have a right to self-identify, and you said want to.
As what?
If you'd like to be a woman, you can identify as a woman. I don't know why there is such an issue around.
We've literally just seen a male rapist use that scam to get himself put into a female prison where he could attack vulnerable women inside a female prison.
When you start making rules like that, cases like these will happen. Evil people will take advantage of the blurred lines. A male rapist in a female prison might give him a gun as well at this point.
When even his ex-wife said it was all a scam.
Which is a terrible, very distressing, isolated incident, and I think it's easy to take that and say that means that no one can identify as a woman.
But
and
it's not an isolated incident, though.
But it's
42% of trans-identifying prisoners in prison are in there for sex crimes. There's actually an advantage, evidently, to identifying as a female, because they never identify as male, because somehow male prisons seem less appealing to them. It's really weird.
Of course it is a scam. And guess what? It's not an isolated event. And why would a male sex offender want to go to male prison when he can just identify as a woman and continue doing the crime he has been doing, crimes he was put in jail for?
Anyway, but
is it limitless, this self-identity?
It's not totally limitless.
What's the limit?
When you're talking about International Women's Day, I don't know why we take the conversation around International Women's Day and make it about this.
But if anyone,
there's so many benefits.
Right, but if anyone, according to you, can identify as a woman, anyone can, right?
I don't see a problem with
just literally put the hand up and say I'm a woman.
But it's not an easy thing to do, to go out into the world.
It's very easy.
Very easy.
You might think it's easy to say, but to decide to do that, to say
what
this
is
is
doing it involved.
But, at this point she knows she can't justify this any further, but she just can't admit this whole thing is as absurd as it sounds.
Whatever that person decides, but to go out into the world and say, I don't identify as perhaps the sex I was born as.
So why can't I identify, why can't I identify as a black lesbian?
Well, firstly, I mean, it was.
I'm serious. I'm serious. If I can identify as anything without any need to prove I'm actually what that is, why can't I, on International Women's Day, say I'm Piers Morgan, I'm a black lesbian?
I think taking it to a kind of absurd status.
I think that's
talking about quite a
with
strong
respect, I think that
physical
you'd already opened the absurdity door by saying it is limitless. You can do what you like. Anyone can say I'm a woman. So I simply ask you, why can't I?
It might sound funny, but he is making a good point. But you don't have to prove anything to anyone now, even if it's a fact. You just wake up one day and say you are a woman. Fine. Now everyone has to agree with you that you are a woman, no question asked. And then you'll get all the perks of being a woman while being a man.
I mean, this point kind of ridicules trans people to an extent.
Actually, I think what you said ridicules trans people, because actually people who go through the full process of transition, who actually go through what we used to call a sex change, which I don't think you can muck around with original biology, but those who actually go through surgical procedure over a number of years, I've got great respect for that very difficult journey they go on. I had zero respect for people who just wallop their hand up and go, suddenly, I'm a woman and I want all the rights that a woman has and I want to compete, say in sport, I'm a 6'4" athlete, sprinter, swimmer, whatever, who's competed very mediocrely in male sport. I now want to come in and crush women in swimming pools and in sprinting events and break all their records, perhaps irrevocably, just by saying, I'm a woman. I think that is the absurdity you were talking about.
This is what these woke people don't get. People who go through the process are different. They are different from some random weirdo who wakes up one day and decides to be a woman just because he wants to do his jail sentence in a female prison, or some mid-athlete who basically wants a gold medal but doesn't want to work for it.
How old are your granddaughters?
They are 6 and 8.
Would you support them to get hormone blockers to become the other gender?
I would absolutely support them to get hormone blockers. The idea of one of my granddaughters learning that they're going to start having their period if they don't get their hormones blocked, even though they're identifying and portraying as a male, how horrible that would be. So yes, definitely.
If your granddaughter came to you and wanted to get a tattoo, what would you say?
That would be more difficult. I always told my 3 sons the one thing I ask is please don't get tattoos.
Really? Why tattoos?
There's just something so permanent about it.
Permanent?
It's pretty permanent. It's very difficult to get them lasered off or removed.
You don't think it's like permanent to change your gender?
This clip cracks me up the most. She is okay with hormone blockers but not okay with tattoos. What? And she reasons that they are permanent. Like hormone blockers are not? And they are kids, 6 and 8 years old. They can't decide what they want for breakfast. This is proof right here that not all old people are wise.
Yeah, like I wanted to say that. Like, she's an old woman. Like I was expecting this wokeness, this thing should be among the young people. I mean, like the Gen Zs and the people coming, even millennials should not even be battling with this, right? I used to think that it was the Gen Z, but sometimes when I hear mother, this is a grandmom. She's a grandmom, and she said if her 6 years old and her 8 years old, right, 6 and 8 was what she mentioned, 6 and 8 years old come to meet her that they want to change their gender, that she would let them be. What, grandmommy? Really? If your 6-year-old comes to meet you to want to change her gender, your 6-year-old grandbaby wants to change her gender, you would let her do that, but you wouldn't let her have a tattoo. Which is worse? You want a 6-year-old to be going through, instead of having her period, you want her to be having hormone blockers instead of a tattoo. And you say a tattoo, there's something permanent. I can't make it make sense, you guys. Like, make it make sense. I feel like, see, if you want to go to prison and then you are using the opportunity to change your gender, I think they should start separate. I personally think they should start separating these people. Maybe that way they will know that they are up against themselves and it is not them against any gender, right? Like, take for example a man who is going for a jail sentence and then one day wakes up and say, oh, I identify as a woman, just so that he could go into the female prison. I feel like it is totally wrong. It is totally wrong for I agree with Pierre Thomas. Like, there's something different about people who have gone through the process of transgendering over the years, and then they are now fully women. Maybe we can try to understand something about, but people that will just wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm a female," that it is so absurd. I can never make sense of it. This last one is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. What do you guys think about this in the comment section? Like, I feel like this is getting out of hand, and I don't think nobody can not define women. A woman. People can actually define a woman. We know that women are females who are biological female. Like, women are biological female. Like, you have the biological DNA of a woman, right? We know. Everybody knows that. I think everybody can define that. But because of this woke craziness, this woke ideology, right? They are beginning to act ignorant and would not want to define women just because they want to hide under the guise of the wokeness. But I would love to know what you guys think about this last part of the video. What do you think about that old woman? Would you allow your 6-year-old? What would be the reason? Why would she prefer a tattoo over? Why would she prefer transgender, their child going through transgender, over a tattoo? What do you think is the problem in this situation? What do you think our society can do? Because I don't know. I honestly cannot know. I cannot even, because a child, 6-year-old child who cannot tell his left from his right, you feel like you can allow the child pick his gender, do what he likes. Okay. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions concerning this conversation. Very important and very interesting, because it has to do with women, and I mean our girls, our baby girls, and all of those interesting things. But anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts and concerns concerning this video. Do well to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, kindly watch my ads. We've been monetized, okay? And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.